Evening all. This is Tim, another film from the workshop. Well, it's interesting, isn't it, when you get to the end of a little project that you've done for the first time and you realise the little mistake you made that seemed completely innocuous and then gave rise to various troubles. But in my case, it was when I was doing the silicon. The first coat of silicon was just normal silicon, but the following two coats were mixed with a thixotropic additive that makes it more able to stand up, if you will, a lot more viscous, a lot less runny. And I put the 2%, I think it was by weight, which was the maximum, and so I ended up with this really quite thick gloop to apply, and it resulted in quite a knobbly outside surface to the silicon. So that left me with a predicament, because in order to get a smooth surface, it seemed to be sensible to cover that with just regular plaster of Paris and smooth it down before applying the Modrock, the plaster impregnated material. And that was a good plan as far as it went, but I hadn't thought through what happens when the plaster of Paris starts to shrink, and it cracks as it does when it dries, and that enabled little bits of plaster to migrate down behind the silicon and effectively change the shape of the silicon mould. Now, I got away with it 99%, but it's only now that I realise what it is that I did wrong and how it causes problems. Because if I come around to the casting that I've done, you'll see right here and here there are two little depressions which were probably caused by that kind of deformation. And if I just turn it around so you can see the other side's perfect, but this side around here has got a bit of a problem. Now, I'm a little bit fortunate in that this is almost exactly where I think the two circular I forget what you call them. It's a sort of thing with a handle you can turn to admit ventilation, and they were used on the rear turrets to get rid of cordite fumes, which otherwise poison the gunners. So I may be able to just draw the eye away from that. The other possibility is just put a little bit of epoxy resin on that and then sand the whole thing down. To which end I've got an absolute heap of wet and dry paper for various grades, going through from 120 grit through to 1200, which will be used to completely smooth this down, get rid of the slightest mark on the or imperfection on the original mould. But good start. It's incredibly heavy. I should think this must weigh 15 to 20 kilos. So yeah, it's very difficult to move around. I got some help, fortunately. Anyway, there you go. So basically, success. This is the shape that I wanted, and the actual usable part is just this bit here. So within my fingertips there. Is that right? Yeah, don't know, about there, like that. So it's much bigger than it needs to be, so that you can get the best possible angle when it's vac formed. So we'll see. So a little bit of a problem to take care of there, but basically a result. There's clearly a problem with bubbles. So if you look down at the bottom edge here, you can just see the sort of indications of bubbles in the side, which means I may have to skip the heat treatment, because that itself risks damaging the mould, and gamble on the fact that because I'm vac-forming this with such thin acrylic, it's actually got very little energy in it, so it won't get this hot enough to cause an issue, it says here. So I need to take a bit of advice on that. The other thing which was a major struggle was getting it out of the mould, because the silicone really had a bloody good grip on this and wasn't going to let go. Which brings me back to what I started talking about in the first place. Because that silicone was so knobbly on the outside and was engaged everywhere with the plaster underneath it, it meant that I couldn't just pull this and the silicone out, which would have been the case if I'd had a smooth surface to the silicone. I could have detached the silicone and this from the plaster and then turned it over and just demolded it easily. But I couldn't do that because the surface of the silicone had gone knobbly, and the reason for that was too much of the fixo. So learnt a lot of lessons doing this. In the end I got it out by, I'm a great collector of things. One of the many things I collect are lolly sticks, because you never know when they're going to be useful, and after a lifetime collecting them, today was the day. So basically what I did was I separated the silicone from the cast just enough to get a lolly stick in and tap it home gently with a tap hammer. I worked my way round until I had about 100 sticks around here, and that was just enough to emit enough air to get a toe hold, as it were, to get this to move slightly. And then once I'd done that, I took all of the sticks out, went in all around the top and heaved it out from this end, because this was the greatest distance between the usable area of the mould that I didn't want to damage and the edge of the mould. So this was clearly the sensible place to try and lever it. And yeah, got away with it. Didn't break anything, and nothing that was important got marked. Just got this little issue here to take care of. So a result. Now cheers. Oh well, there you go. Oh, I'm getting very sophisticated these days. I'm editing together video and audio files that I'm recording. This last picture is the mould. The pink area denotes the unused portion, and the red area denotes the portion that's needed to make the windows on the turret cupola. So that's all that is. See you another day when I finish sanding. Might be another week when I finish sanding. Anyway, there you go. Bye.